To the tables down at Maury's, to the place where Louis dwells, to the dear old temple bar we love so well. Sing the Whiffenpoofs assembled with their glasses raised on high, and the magic of their singing cast its spell. Yes, the magic of their singing, of the songs we love so well. Shall I wasting and the mourning and the rest, we will serenade on Louis while life and voice shall last, and will pass and be forgotten with the rest.
My first year at Yale, I really had a lot of problems, but after I got up, I went after getting out of Yale the first year, I decided I had to do something about my weight. And I looked around and I saw that a friend of mine suggested that I go. There was a baseball camp in a little town in Texas, near Waco, Texas. And so I called and I got accepted to the camp. And they really were interested in training kids who that maybe in a year or two they would be able to go to Class A baseball. And I went down there and I started at, I think, at 310 pounds. It was hotter than hell. In those days, the baseball uniforms were made out of wool. And here we were in 100 degrees, 105 degrees, playing baseball games in wool. And occasionally, we'd go and get a little bit of money, not very much. We'd play night games against the local team. I did very well at this camp. I lost a lot of weight. By the time I went to Yale, my sophomore year, I had lost almost 100 pounds. Some people didn't even recognize me. But I remember that when the scouts came at this baseball camp, he said, well, you've got if you keep your weight down, you keep losing weight, yeah, I think you've got a future. And my best friend at the camp was the son of the people who owned the St. Louis Browns, which is the worst team in baseball, but it was Major League, so it was great. So the scouts came, and the day that they came, I swear, I must have hit, I hit one long home run. I scooped balls out of the plate, out of first base, and I really put on a show. I swear to goodness that when I did this pickup, I don't think I even looked at it. I was sort of trying to do it, my high school. But everything worked out, and that's when the scouts came to me. He said, Townsend, you've got a real shot here. You just got to keep your weight under control. Well, unfortunately, I gained, not all the gain, but I gained about 40, 50 pounds back. That was the end of my baseball career. But I had a wonderful time that summer. And that got me to Yale as a sophomore. And I really had, not that I was a big man on campus or anything, but I've always been different. And for a long time, that really didn't appeal to me. I didn't want to be different. I wanted to be like everybody else. But I was born different. My personality was different. I talked different. There's something about me. My first name was actually Dwight Hall. Dwight-Hall is my first name. And I hated the name. It sounded so pretentious. Dwight Hall. It's like I was born in England to royalty or something. I just loathed it. And I was different. I looked different. I acted different. I thought differently. I really did. And that was mostly because of my mother. She was definitely an anti-Mame type. That's the way she was. And she was like me, whatever she said or thought, she said it. And as a kid, she used to embarrass the hell out of me. Because she'd go into a store, to Rogers Peters, one of the big stores that you could pants, and she'd grab my crotch and say, "Is it too loose there, Dwight?" She would, of course, embarrass the hell out of me as a 12 or 13-year-old. Amistonian is a genius name for salamanders, and salamanders was what the people at Silver would call salamanders. And I thought, well, what are we going to call this singing group? Because my roommate and I started this group. And I wasn't into the Yale Glee Club yet. That happened at the end of the beginning of my junior year. And we started Amistonians. I thought that'd be a great name. It sounds very funky. Nobody knew what it meant, but we did pretty well. We did a lot of singing around campus and that kind of thing. So that's where I really got my love of group singing of that kind. I did it. And then they asked me at the end of my sophomore year to join the Augmented Seven, which is one of the established groups at Yale. Yale had at that time maybe 8 or 9 groups that are very well known. The most famous one was the Whiffenpoofs. Everybody knew who the Whiffs were. When I was at Yale, I was at Silliman College. We had a room on the ground floor, and I had a piano. One of the few people that actually had a piano there in our room. And I used to play. I used to love to play. I think some of the time I played just because I enjoyed it. Other times, I guess maybe I was showing off. But I was playing the piano and singing. I remember the headline of the Yale paper one day said, "Who is that froggy in the window?" Because that was the year that was, who was that doggy in the window? They made it Froggy. It was a headline on the Yale record. But the people would come by and they'd see me playing. And I was also the first person that would go to the music store in New Haven. I was the first one that had the long plays that had not monaural records, but were the ones that were fuller than monaural. I can't remember what it's called, but in any event. And I had this wonderful sound. And the song that I kept playing over and again was Constantinople. I remember Constantinople. Da, 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 da. And so they all, and people got used to me playing there. And I think I did. I think a lot of time I was aware that people were listening. Other times I just did it because I had fun doing it. But and I had a wonderful time there.
That's nobody's business but the Turks.
I really did something stupid, but I wasn't thinking that. I was having a lot of fun. I was a big guy, and I could smack a golf ball a long way. And the distance between Silliman and Timothy Dwight was a long way. And people said, I bet you can't hit a drive that goes from Silliman and go into Timothy Dwight. I said, sure I can. So I hit 3 or 4 balls, and then it suddenly dawned on me, I could kill someone. Luckily I didn't hit anybody, but that was the last time I did that. In junior year at Yale, I was admitted into the Yale Glee Club, which I absolutely adored. The guy that had been the head of the Yale Glee Club for 50 years retired, and a guy named Fenno Heath, who was a terrific young man, took us over, and I was in the Glee Club his first year, and I caused him a lot of problems because I always, if something as I say crossed I thought was amusing or interesting, I would blurt it out, which was not, if you're in the middle trying to rehearse something, you don't want this kind of stuff. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it to be mean or anything. It's just it was part of my person. My mind works that way. I take a lot of. I'm a lot more careful now, even though I generally speak what I think. Sometimes I think, wait a minute, maybe you shouldn't say that. So I was a lot more careful now than I was then. But I had a wonderful time at Yale with the Yale Glee Club. And at the end of that year, we went on a European cruise, European tour. And that was the year after I met my first love of my life, this Brazilian girl that my mother introduced me to. And I was driving Fenno nuts because on this trip, every place we'd go, we'd have mail call. And I'd say, is there a letter for me? A letter for me? I was waiting for a letter from her. I called her Winky Jordan. Her name was Maria Yanina Jordan. And I called her Winky. And so I drove everybody nuts, wondering whether I was getting mail from Winky. And she wrote quite a few letters. But I would have enjoyed Europe more if Winky had been there too. But it was a lot of fun, it really was. And I think that getting into the Augmented Seven really helped me because getting into the Whiffenpoofs was not easy. I mean, there were no auditions for it. They did it on reputation. If they heard you singing or if people talked, they'd talk to someone and say, what about Townsend? Does he sing well? Does he get along? I don't know what they said, but it never occurred to me. I never really thought I'd be in the Whiffs. And I was absolutely shocked when they came back a half hour later. They didn't want me to know that they were going to be there. They left and got Joe Siphon, who was a friend of mine, lived right above me. And about half hour, 40 minutes later, they came back and to get me. I was deliriously happy. I wasn't expecting it at all. They would come and inaugurate your membership. They would go and sing a song, and you had to keep. And along with this song, they had a big called a green cup, which is a mixture, and I didn't ever drink. I hated the taste of liquor. They had gin, vermouth, scotch, bourbon, everything in this thing. They knew I didn't drink, So they kept singing this song, inaugural song, because everybody was given sort of a slang nickname. My nickname was Gownan Townsend. I mean, they all had that kind of sort of this thing. And so they would sing, it's Gownan, it's Gownan. Meanwhile, I was theoretically drinking, but I had this little space in my front teeth, and I faked it. And they thought I was drinking a lot. I never felt anything. But the guy that they got after me, named Freddie Robertshaw, he was plowed. I mean, we had to throw them off there. We had a delivery truck. We sort of delivered people at their dormitories. He kept slapping me. I was called Froggy ever since I was at Fessenden, and my voice went from da-da-da to da-da-da-da-da.
I don't have no money, and besides, it's too hot in here.
Yeah, the Whiffenpoofs were very well known, and it was a great honor. I suppose next to being football captain or something like that, being a Whiff was something. It wasn't, you didn't audition for it. It was something that they chose you because they knew from people that you were like, first of all, you could sing well, but also that you would join a group and be good in a group. And it was an honor, it really was. It was almost as big an honor as being Scroll and Key or Skull and Bones or something. And the senior year, we got together before the senior year, and we went to a grandmother's house of one of the Whiffs, who's actually was at Snowbird here in Vero, named Ask Gulliver. And he had a grandmother. He had a house up near the Canadian border, and we all got together before senior year. We all knew we were Whiffs, and we got together. And we before we got to Yale, to open the start of the senior year, we knew 30 or 40 songs in our repertoire. And we got together every Monday and sang at Moore's, which is a very famous restaurant where the Whiffs always go and sing on Monday nights. But it was a dream. It was a dream year. I mean, we rarely got to. Of course, Yale is a lot harder now. When I was there, I had a class at 9 o'clock and at 10 o'clock, and I had a class where I did my thesis. That's all I did. That's all I had. And I think I had 3 classes in a thesis, but I only took one. In order to graduate, I had to have a good thesis, and then I had to have one other good mark. And I did well at Yale. I didn't get straight A's or anything. But we had so much fun. We were rarely there on Monday for class or Friday. We were going someplace or coming back from someplace. It was just, we had a terrific group. Even to this day, we're very close. And it's amazing that out of the 13 of the Whiffs, the original Whiffenpoofs, only 2 of them have died. This is like, 60 years after we graduated. That's amazing. So we all realize that, I mean, I'm sorry that I'm in this condition where I can't get around, because the thing I would like to do more than anything else is get to go up to the Northeast and meet with my friends there. I have a lot of friends, but they're in the Northeast or the Northwest. A couple of guys, one person in Paris, another one's in Australia. And with my situation, it's very hard for me to make these trips. So I really miss them. And it was the greatest year. I mean, it's hard to replicate a year like that, because you were treated like something that's really special. And it was, I don't think we felt I don't think we went around, feeling that we were terrific, but it was just a fun year. We went to Bermuda, which is where we actually, where the Whiffs, actually had the Augmented Seven. That was the kind of music we did when we went to Bermuda, all expenses paid, during our spring break senior year. We had a wonderful time. I was the most popular guy in the group because I didn't drink. And so I had these 4 chits. Everybody was asking for my chits, because a couple of these guys were heavy drinkers. These friendships were just amazing. Almost all of the Whiffenpoofs. And it to this day, I'm the close friends of, I think 8 or 9 out of 13. And they're my best friends today. And the guy that's become a really great friend of mine wrote a special arrangement for Without a Song, which was the number that I sang. And I had to say, I know it's patting myself, I'm going to break my arm patting myself on the back. But I mean, this is a song, when the Whiffs sang, there's a guy named John Stein who was in the CIA. We didn't know at that time. He had a gorgeous voice, very good looking. When he sang, no singing. If we had a reunion or something, everybody shut up and listened to the Whiffs. And then when I did Without a Song, that was another time. That became my signature song.
Without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, the road would never bend. When things go my troubles and woe, but sure as I know the Jordan will roll, I'll get along as long as the song is strong in my soul. I'll never know what makes the rain to fall. I'll never know what makes the grass so tall. I only know there ain't no love at all without a soul. Forget your troubles and just get happy. Meditate all your cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day.
The sun is shining, come on, get happy. The Lord is waiting to take your hand. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. We're going to the promised land. We're heading across the river, wash your sins way in the tide. It's all so peaceful on the other side.
Forget your troubles and just get happy. Meditate all your cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment.